Hey everyone, episode 6 of Nick and Eli Talk at You. It is Wednesday again. We are here recording now 6 weeks in a row. I'm very proud of us, Eli. How are you today?
I'm all right. I'm alive. I'm in good spirits.
You're surviving the coronavirus.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So let me tell you, this week has been an interesting week. So it was Memorial Day, as you know. Happy Memorial Day, belatedly to everybody. So we have a house that has a patio, and we moved here in July, and we didn't buy any patio furniture last year. And now this year it's the spring, Memorial Day. There's big sales on patio furniture. We're like, all right, we're gonna bite the bullet and buy it because it's very expensive.
It is.
Even at Home Depot, even at like the cheapest place you can find, IKEA, whatever, it's always a lot of money. And so we're like, fine, we need it because we're spending a lot of time outside. It's nice weather. It's been nice like for the past week. And so we go and we find something we like. And IKEA, first of all, won't deliver to us. You can't pick up in any of the New York stores. You can't pick up in the New Jersey store. And so we're like, all right, we're going to drive out to Connecticut and pick it up. And we can't even pick it up in Connecticut. So we're SOL. So then I was like, you know what we're going to do? I'm just going to build it. I'm going to become a handy person. I'm going to buy a saw and some wood, and we are going to build an outdoor sofa. And so now I've gone down the rabbit hole of woodworking as a hobby.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah. So I haven't bought a saw yet or built anything, but it's going to be this week. I'm going to get some 2x4s. I'm going to build a workbench, and I'm going to be a handy woodsman.
Wow. That's cool, man.
Yeah, so we'll see. So I mean, it seems kind of easy, famous last words, to do the things that we need to build an outdoor sofa, to do a few other things around the house. So we'll see. That's kind of been the big thing.
That seems like a project, though.
I don't know. People are like, look, if you go on YouTube, they're like, look, I made this in an afternoon. So.
Well, yeah. Well, that's people, probably know what the hell they're doing, or do that professionally or something, or do that as a hobby.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably rather mess with that than mess with, like I mentioned last time, with electricity.
Yeah.
Or like plumbing.
Yeah.
So I'd probably rather do that. But still, that's a bit of a project. That's cool, though.
How do you feel about tiling?
I might F with that.
Okay.
I might.
Because we got some
like
ugly bathrooms.
That wouldn't be, if I somehow mucked that up, it wouldn't be that big a deal to fix. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if I muck up the plumbing, if I muck up the wiring,
yeah,
my house is gonna be either rotten or burnt.
It's either gonna be wet or on fire.
Yeah, either rot or on fire. So it's like, so I don't mess with that.
Well, that's why I think woodworking is gonna be safe. Like I'll be out in the garage, I'll be cutting up wood. We'll see how it goes. So wish me luck, because I'm gonna make a workbench.
Because I know you could rent everything from Home Depot.
Yeah, but
you could rent all the tools, or you're gonna buy like all the circular saws and the span saws and all that.
So I'm gonna buy a miter saw, which is the like chopping one. It like just comes down and chops. I'm gonna buy one.
Manly one.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna buy one of those. It's like $100 for a 10-inch. I looked it up, $120 maybe. And then I have a jigsaw. I bought a jigsaw last week because I wanted to fix something for our cat, his little shelf under the window. So I have those. I'm going to start with those. And then on my buy list is a circular saw, which is like the one that construction workers use, right? It's like the circular one you can like wave around.
Yep.
And a table saw, which is the one where the saw is like in the table and it comes up and you like push a board over it. Yeah.
That can be cheap, right?
Oh, well, you can get like the portable ones for like $180, but
okay.
I think to get like a real one, it's more like $400 at the bottom. So that one I want to get last, but everyone's like, "Oh, that's the one you really need." And it's like, well, I'm not going to spend that much money right now because this might just be a passing phase, and I'd rather not spend, $500. I'd rather just spend $100 and get my good feeling of.
Where will you set it up? Like in your garage?
Yeah, so we have a 2-car garage, and we only have one little car. So, and it's detached, so it's off of the house. And I'll probably put it there.
Because I know in my house, you know my little shed in the back.
Yeah.
When we first moved in, there was a lot of evidence that my shed was a woodworking station or whatever it's the proper name for that. Yeah, there was like evidence of like the sawdust, and I saw the hose, and there was power going into the house. I don't know, I can't find it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, so that little shed was a woodworking place.
And you didn't use it as woodworking?
Hell no, I use it as where I put all my crap.
Did you mow the lawn this week at the beautiful weather?
I haven't got a chance to, because I've had people actually right now as we speak. I got people working on my house.
Oh, what are they doing?
The siding. I'm gonna post some before and after. Like my siding in the front was bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad. And my stoop in the path to my house. I think I even mentioned it here. I'm not sure where it was made out of slate.
Uh-huh.
And that cracks in the cold.
Yeah.
So it's like a hot mess. So I'm getting that done. We're doing replacing the whole siding in the house.
Oh wow, you're replacing all the siding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Luckily, they're working in the front of the house now, so it's not gonna affect nothing.
No, it sounds peaceful.
Oh yeah, but in the front, I got 3 guys working out there.
Wow, nice.
So it's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool, but I gotta tell my wife, she's really loving it.
Are you changing the color of the house?
Slightly. It went from like from like a grayish color, and the other side of the siding in the front was white to like now it's like a really light gray, but regular vinyl siding. Like I don't know if you recall, but in the front of my house I had the faux wood siding.
I thought your house was red for some reason.
Red?
Yeah,
man.
like brick
red. I got a red door.
No, I thought your house was red for some reason.
No, it was definitely like a dark color.
Huh.
So we're doing all that.
Cool.
But yo, there's one thing I want to tell you about, man.
Yeah, tell me.
So I don't know if did I mention last week about the Roomba?
Briefly, that you were getting old and you couldn't figure out how the Roomba worked.
Yeah, so that thing has been a godsend.
Really?
Yeah. Like at first I was mad at it because I mean I don't know how you are. I don't know if you do like thorough deep cleanings all the time, but like in certain areas I was using a little Roomba and it was like choking. So it kept like doing the little beep boo beep boo. It's like the sound of like help me, and it was like caught with like some dog, a big clump of dog fur that it found somewhere. Because again, I have 1 million dogs in my house. But now that we've been running it every day twice, it's just great. Like my floor is clean.
Wow.
Like it just needs to be mopped. And I haven't really swept.
Is it loud? Like if it's running twice a day, is that like bothersome?
It's not loud. I mean, it makes a sound of like a little machine. But it's not loud. It's not like I'm watching my shows and I'm looking down like, oh my God. Maybe if I'm sitting on my couch and it bumps into me, I'll notice it then. But yeah, it's not a big deal. And I was thinking, because the little garbage compartment is probably about yay big, so probably like 6-inch wide and 5-inch tall, and maybe 2 inches thick, and it's tiny. That's a small little garbage compartment. But yeah, but now that it's handled the bad stuff, it's been pretty like cool. Like we dump the little trash bin maybe once a day. And it cleans, and it's just dope. It goes throughout the whole house. It goes to my grandson's room, my living room. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
That's awesome. I got a Roomba. So when I went to grad school in Arizona, my mom got me a Roomba as like a gift. It was like the first time I was living by myself. I had my own apartment. It was just me and not even Neutron, the cat at the time. And so my mom got me a Roomba as a gift. But this was like 2009. It was like when Roombas were like brand new.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was very good, and I got like a bad impression of the technology, and so I haven't even tried it since. And
well, you probably had the first generation stuff, like the one I have is not even a Roomba. It's called a Corgi.
Yeah.
And like I said, I got a hookup on it.
Yeah.
I paid $50 for it.
Wow.
Where if you look up the same model on Amazon, it's about $200. Wow. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna buy another one. I might keep one permanently in my room parked, programmed, and I'm gonna put one in for the rest of the house.
You're gonna have like a vacuum army.
I'm telling you, I was looking at the mopping Roombas. I'm like, hey, if I get the mopping Roomba and I program it just right, so the first one goes out and sweep, then the other one goes out and mop, I can just sit on my ass all day and do nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other day you were complaining you have nothing to do because of coronavirus. You're just bored. You're zoning out. You're falling asleep. And now you're like, you know what I can do? I can program robots to do the few things that are left.
The few menial tasks that I have. Yeah.
Yo, but you inspired me to mop. I didn't mop. I didn't circular mop, or what is it called?
Oh, the spin mop.
I didn't spin mop, but the other week, a few weeks ago, we were at Home Depot, and I decided to buy one of those Swiffer mops. It like has like the liquid cartridge that you plug in. It like shoots the liquid, then you mop. And I mopped the kitchen, and it was crazy good. I liked it a lot, and so now I'm gonna start mopping the rest of the house.
Do you have BJ's? I mean, what big box club are you part of?
I think there's a Costco nearby, but the only time I went was when I had to get new tires for the car, and so my membership expired.
Well, I think it's just you and your wife, so maybe it's not too
convenient. Yeah, like we don't buy in bulk. There.
Yeah, but usually they got the brand that I use. It's from Old Cedar. I know they're a popular brand for cleaning stuff. And they're the ones that make that spin mop. And for you, it probably lasts you 12 years. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think I have the bucket of a spin mop. Like I have the bucket that has the red thing on the side.
Yeah, the little plank.
Yeah, but I don't have. I only have like a janitor's mop, like a real like school janitor mop, which like a wood handle. Because I was gonna mop the basement, which I don't think has been done in 50 years. And I just haven't got. I bought Fabuloso and a janitor's mop, and I'm just gonna go to town.
Oh, there you go. You bought the correct cleaning product.
That is well. I mean, I have a Latina wife, right? So she was like, "Get Fabuloso." I was like, "Okay." So I got like the 2-gallon concentrate of the purple Fabuloso, and I was gonna mop up the basement, but I haven't done it yet. So that's why I have a mop. Anyway, listen to us ramble about cleaning in our house, like we're the domestic house husbands that we are.
I'm telling you, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, so let's take a short break, and then let's go into the topic of the week. Here's the break music. So I just realized that that's not going to be music. That's going to be a commercial for Anchor.fm. So when you come back from that break, you're going to hear lovely past me talking about Anchor.fm, which has been really good. So far we have like, what is it, 14 listeners? Let me check real quick. Where is Anchor.fm? Anchor.fm, estimated audience of 13 people, Eli.
Hey.
That means that, like, on a regular basis, 13 people, I think includes me and you, listen to our podcast. So if you're listening, I saw someone listen from Germany recently. So if you're from Germany,
wow, that's cool.
Guten Tag, Guten Nacht. So that's all I know in German. All right, Eli. This week, I was thinking a lot about what I wanted to talk about this week. And I was thinking about talking about something serious. But then I decided I just didn't have the mental capacity, so I wanted to talk about video games. Go back to our roots. Go back to our podcasting roots. As I said last week, I went back to Final Fantasy XIV, which has been amazing. I was actually playing it a little bit this morning before work. I was like, I got to get my fix in. I've been leveling Machinist, which is like a gun.
But weren't you done, though?
What?
Weren't you done?
Done with what?
With 14. With 14. Didn't you kill the latest expansion and did the whole story? What is there new to do?
Well, so every patch there's more main story quests. So
okay.
So when the expansion came out, I did the full main story quest that existed like out of the box, and I leveled my summoner to 80, which is the cap. And then I stopped, and I was like, I'll go back to World of Warcraft. Why not? Also, at that time, we had just bought the house, and so it was like I wasn't playing a lot anyway. But now it's been like maybe 2 or 3 patches since the expansion came out. And so every patch they add new story. And so I just finished, I think, the first patch after the expansion story, and I have the next one to do. I'm leveling other classes. I'm doing the raids and stuff. There's like crafting, which I haven't touched in forever. There's like other job quests. Like I'm working on Red Mage. I'm working on Machinist. Like just a bunch of stuff. There's like a lot of stuff to do. There's like, you can run dungeons with NPCs. So like, you don't even have, like, that's what I did this morning.
Is that a new thing?
Well, there's 2 iterations of it. So there's one where you can go to your grand company, right? So you can go to the Maelstrom or the Twin Adders or whatever the Ul'dah one is. Like the army, right? You can go to the army, you can go to your barracks, and you can like recruit NPCs. These are just random NPCs. They're healer, they're tank, they're DPS of different types, and you can train them. So you can send them out on missions, and it takes like 18 hours, and they come back and they have experience, and you can level them up kind of like in the background. Fine.
Oh, so it's kind of like the thing you do in like in previous Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We will hire assassins and send them on missions, and they will come back X amount of hours with either loots and XP and blah blah blah.
Yeah, so you can do that, but then depending on what level they are, you can also run them in dungeons, like with you. So like you can choose a class, a tank, a healer, or a DPS, and then you can choose 3 other people, and as long as you have 1 tank, 1 healer, and 2 DPS, you can run a dungeon. And so the AI is so-so.
I was just about to ask you.
It's so-so. So I this morning before work, I ran as a machinist, which is a DPS class. And so I had a AI tank, an AI healer, and an AI dragoon. And I was like level 47 or something. And you get like 3 commands that you can do. You can engage, you can disengage, and you can start a limit break. Those are like the 3 things you can do to interact with these AI NPCs.
You can't ask for a heal?
No. And so I had died several times this morning because just like the aggro didn't work out quite right. And so I was tanking something. I didn't get a heal. Or like the dungeon that I was doing, it's crazy because they don't change the dungeons at all. So like a lot of the dungeons, this one in particular, has a lot of like AoE, and you have to like maneuver bosses to like get hit by the AoE so that they're not invulnerable. And so like all I can do is okay, engage and then disengage, let everyone run back to me, and then engage, and like, you know, the threat's wonky and it's fine. It's a good way, like you get all the XP from the dungeon, you get all the loot from the dungeon, and it's like fine if, you know, you just want to like mess around. And then in Shadowbringers, like that was released before the current expansion. In Shadowbringers, they like made another iteration of that system called the trust system, which is kind of funny. And the trust system, it's like you get NPCs, but they are like the main story NPCs. They're not just random NPCs. And you run like the story dungeons of the expansion with them or with a group. But like, you know, the story will say, oh, we have to go and infiltrate this dungeon. And then it will say, you unlocked this dungeon. And then instead of having to then wait in a queue for 30 minutes, you can just run it with them. And their AI is a little better. I don't typically. Yeah.
Hold on. You said queue for 30 minutes. Has it gotten bad? Because I know when I played, I never really ran into too long a queue to do any. Mind you, I didn't do any of the advanced stuff. I just did the vanilla Final Fantasy 14 stuff.
Yeah.
But I never really waited that long. I think at the most I ever waited was maybe like 4 minutes.
Well, you were also a tank.
Oh, okay.
So tank.
Wow, really? So the queues are that bad for the?
No, I'm exaggerating. So the WoW queues can be pretty long like that for a DPS. In Final Fantasy, the tank and healer queues are pretty quick, less than 5 minutes usually. The DPS queues can go maybe 15 minutes. So like what I tend to do when I'm feeling really uninspired to work, like I have work to do, but I just can't drag myself to do it. What I'll do is I'll go upstairs, I'll sit in front of my PC with Final Fantasy on, I will start a DPS queue, and then I'll work while I'm waiting. And then when it comes, I'll put the work aside for a bit, I'll run the dungeon, and then I will re-enter the queue and then work again. So it's kind of like the Pomodoro technique. Have you heard of that?
No, I have not.
So the Pomodoro technique, it's this idea of like focusing for a short amount of time and then taking a break for a short amount of time and just doing repetitions of that instead of like trying to work for 4 hours at a time and losing focus. So it's kind of like a Pomodoro technique. I did it all through undergrad and grad school with WoW, where I would sit in a queue and work, and then once the queue popped, I would run the dungeon. But I would do it on a long queue class. Like I wouldn't do it on a healer because then you don't get any work done. So doing it on a DPS is good to get 15 minutes of work done otherwise. So I've been doing a lot of that. Mariana is now 115 hours into Persona 5 Royal, which is awesome. such a good game. You have to play Persona 5. It is, if you like JRPGs and you haven't played Persona 5, this goes to everyone out in Germany, the 15 people listening to the podcast. Do yourself a favor. Spend $60. It costs 50 cents an hour of enjoyment, at least. And that's like without side quests. That's straight up the story of the game. It's so good. It's like so styled. The music is amazing. We got
the presentation is insane in that game.
Yo, that game, it's like I can't.
Like I've seen the reviews and I've looked at the videos of the presentation of like even the item, the menus, and like everything. It's like they went balls to the wall.
I can't get over how amazing like every single part of that game. There's not a weak point in that game. Maybe some of the voice acting, but not even. Like maybe that not everything is voice acted. Most things are voice acted. Some things you have to read. Is that a complaint? I don't know, but you got really close to the mic. I can just hear like. So what are you playing? Did you finish Dragon Quest XI?
I did.
And the stuff that was post-ending?
I can actually talk completely about the real ending because there is no story spoilers.
Really?
Yeah, like once you beat it, you get a quick thing about, okay, you know, you the man, you did it. Like I mentioned before, the boss that I was at was almost like the secret last boss. Like I beat the proper last boss and I got credits when they show all the characters, you know, what happened with them and quick little non-voiced cutscenes. And it was really cool. And I thought I was done with the game. And it actually took me another 35 hours to beat the game. Which 35 hours is an entire game.
Seriously?
For the most part, a long regular game.
I mean, they say Final Fantasy VII Remake is 35 hours. I've only played 6, but...
Exactly. So I ended up grinding. And I did a technique called... basically, your characters in the game, right? They get pepped up. Pepped up almost looks like when... Dragon Ball Z character goes Super Saiyan.
Okay.
So, you know, randomly, like you could increase the chances by when you mess with your skill menu, you could increase the chances of your characters pepping up.
Okay.
So there are certain characters that they combine their peps. So it'll be like, let's say the main character and Eric. So now if they're both pepped up at the same time, they could do a special technique, both of them.
Okay.
So there's some that require 3 people. And there's this one ability called Hallelujah. That 3 characters, you know, they do together when they're pepped up. And what that does is guarantees a good drop at the end of that specific fight. And I think double XP.
Oh, wow.
So there's a other ability called like Electric Dance, something silly like that. And what that does is you get a high chance that it will swap out the current enemy that you're fighting. And it'll replace them with metal slimes, which are the enemies that give the most XP in the game.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so like this regular, you've probably seen the little blue, cute little slime.
Yeah,
in Dragon Quest. Well, picture the same thing, but now it's made out of metal.
Okay.
And you have a king metal slime, which is a big, fat slime with a crown. And if you kill the king slime, normally, I think you get like 300,000 XP, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So if you kill them, and sometimes you will spawn with a couple of liquid metal slimes, which also give you quite a bit of XP.
Okay.
So if you do the whole thing, you kill them all, you get like 500,000, 700,000 XP.
Yeah.
So that's probably at the level that I was at in my high 70s. That's probably between 3 and 5 levels, depending on the character.
Just from the one fight.
From the one fight.
Wow.
But the setup to get the right people pepped up, to engage each fight, it takes about, if you're lucky, because it's also very luck-based. Again, that whole pepping thing that happens randomly. Because you want to do it with like 6 characters need to be pepped up total, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So you can either consume these very, very rare and expensive item, this thing called a pep pip, and you consume it and you get pepped up. And the main character has an ability to just pep himself up automatically. It's an ability. So it takes like 15, 20 minutes to set up the fight. And the thing is, you want everybody pepped and you want to save the game because there's a chance when you do that electro dance, whatever the hell it's called, for some random robots to show up.
Instead of the slimes.
Yeah, that's considered a failure. You want the slimes. So, but the thing was, to grind from 70, let's say, I think I was 73, the main character, to get to 99, to do that normally, it probably would have taken me 20 hours.
Yeah.
or maybe 15 if I find a really good spot.
Mm-hmm.
So doing this technique, I probably did it in like maybe 3 or 4 hours, maybe less. So I got to max level, fought the last boss. It was in the last boss, like I read in all the strategies because I'm like, this guy just wiped the floor with me, and I could beat everything in the game on auto battle. Like I don't even got to play the game, and my party is strong enough to beat him. But him, he was like, So I beat him, and the game does something cool. When you beat the game, like I said, you get literally like a 4-minute cutscene ending, and then from that, like the credits, they are like if you take a big 3-gallon pot of nostalgia and boil it down to like an ounce of super condensed nostalgia, that's what you get in the ending. What the ending does, and this is so cool, you see the screen, right? And on the right hand of the screen, credits are playing. And on the left hand of the screen, you see 3 little mini screens. And in each screen, it starts off, it says Dragon Quest. So it shows footage from the first original game.
Oh, wow.
Like it'll show footage of the character talking, and it's in Japanese, but it doesn't matter. See the character, the main character talking. I think his name was Eric. You see a battle screen, and you see another random screen, and then it goes and it hangs out for about 2 minutes showing footage. Then it fades away, and now it says Dragon Quest 2, and they show footage from that game, and it keeps going all the way to 10.
Wow.
So it was like this like nostalgia bomb. And my daughter's like, Dad, are you gonna cry? I'm like, shut up, you.
But you've played all the Dragon Quests, is that right?
Not all, but a lot of them.
Okay.
Most of them, I would say. Like I didn't play the few that came out for the Game Boy. I mean, for the DS.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think it was like 9 and 10 were on the DS, and I didn't play them because some of them were like online only and whatever. But like either way, like just seeing all the games being represented in the little screens, it was really really cool, man. Like I sat there and watched all the credits.
And you didn't get the first credits, like with the non-final boss, like the fake final boss. Is that right?
No, actually, when you beat the real boss, the tech, quote unquote real boss, not the secret boss, it was just a cool ending showing the characters of 11, what happened to all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one, it shows this extra, like, okay, you went above and beyond, you beat the game in its entirety. Check this out. And it was really, really cool, man.
Yeah.
It was a great game. I recommend to anybody. It was really, really fun game.
That's awesome. And what are you playing right now?
Right now, I'm actually playing something really stupid.
What?
Have you been? It's been around social media with gamers. Maneater.
I saw it on Twitter this morning. I think there's like a sale for it. I saw cheap ass games talking about it.
Yeah, so like that game just came out. It came out Tuesday actually.
Okay, and what is it?
You play. Hold on.
Is this gonna be family friendly?
Hold on. All right, hold on. Game starts off. You playing as a big ass shark, like a big.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
So you're playing as a big ass shark, and the game starts off where you're eating humans. Like basically the tutorial, you're playing as a big shark, and then this guy comes out. His name is Scaly Pete, and he talk like this, like he's from Louisiana, from the bow. You know what I'm saying? So after like the 15 minute tutorial, he captures you. He strings you up, and you're still wriggling about. And he's like, "Oh, I see you. Oh, you got a harpoon in you," because they describe the shark that you're playing as. Oh, he has a rusty harpoon stuck in her side. So he's like, "Oh, this is not my daddy's harpoon, right?" And he takes a knife and just cuts you open. He just kills you.
Oh my god!
He's like, "Whoa, look at this!" And he pulls out a little baby bull shark from inside the mom, and he looks at it and he cuts it. Like he gives it a big scar. Like you can see me from the gills up to the fin.
Yeah.
The dorsal fin.
Yeah.
Cuts it, and the guy. It's funny. It's like a whole faux reality TV show. Like the cameraman's, the camera's shaking. He's like, "What you did that for?" He's like, "Oh, so when I catch it later, I can recognize it." And then the baby bull shark, quickly turns around and snaps his hand off and eats it. And then it cuts to it cuts to the game. Now you're a little baby bull shark, and you see the guy's hand floating in the water. And once you eat it, you get narration, and the narrator, you know who it is?
Who?
It's Jerry from Rick and Morty. So it's that boring, bland, vanilla guy.
Yeah.
And he delivers like really hilarious dialogue. Like sometimes when you're eating a bunch of stuff, it was like, "Well, sharks have unending appetites, and they just keep eating and eating, and they don't stop. And it's just hilarious with his little deadpan delivery. And the game, yo, is hilarious. It's Far Cry. It's a open world semi role playing game. Well, not semi because you level up. Role playing game where you play as a mother loving shark.
As a baby shark.
The baby shark. So you play as a baby shark, and you eat all the critters in the area, and you level up.
And do you get bigger as you level up?
What was that?
Do you get bigger as you level up?
Yes. Right now I'm at teen shark. Teenage shark. I'm like level 7 or 8, something like that. So I'm significantly bigger than when I started. But the game has a real cool feature where when you beat the bosses, you get special abilities. So like you know how sharks got like 3 rows of teeth?
Yeah.
So when I beat the first boss, I got the ability to replace my teeth. Now they look like fatter, chunkier teeth. But now when I bite, I shock.
Ooh.
And I've seen pictures, which pissed me off. I was really mad at YouTube.
You got spoiled.
Some guys, for some reason, this game is popular. I guess because nothing's coming out.
Yeah. Well, I think there was the thing I saw about this when you reminded me, it was like, hey, are you fed up with the world? Is the world getting you down with coronavirus? Well, why don't you just play as a shark and eat humans?
Well, like the thing, I've seen some pictures of you looking like those heard a weird sound, sorry. Those weird ancient sharks are like full like armor.
Yeah. Like from dinosaurs.
Like those Jurassic or Triassic, whatever the hell period it was.
Yeah.
So you could become like that.
Wow.
You could evolve your shark to look like this weird monster.
So
literally a monster.
So a big part of it is like the evolution, like you kind of like augment the shark.
That's what interests me. Like I seen one picture where the guy had like instead of being teeth inside a mouth, it was like almost like the jaws. You know Jaws from James Bond?
Yeah.
Kind of like that look where the teeth are part of your jaw itself, not inside your mouth.
Yeah.
So like I thought this weird chunky teeth. I'm like, what the hell's that? And it kind of caught me. And I like those stupid, silly games. It reminds me of a Xbox Live Arcade game. You know?
Wait, a specific
I remember,
one?
I'm hearing this weird noise.
It's probably them replacing your siding, Eli.
Probably, but they should be in the front of the house. Well, anyway, so like I used to love those Xbox Live arcade games. They were just simple games.
Yeah.
And this is a little more than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you say it's like Far Cry. Is it like, what is the graphics like, and what is it on? If I wanted to play it.
I'm playing on PS4.
Okay.
The graphics are nice enough.
But is it like
underwater? It's a nice effect, or the foliage and stuff. And you could unlock little bases, which is so funny. You can unlock bases. And the funniest thing you could do in this game, Nick, you could jump out of the water, plop yourself into a beach, and start eating people. and the thing is that for this part, they really animated the shark well, because you kind of plopping around the water, and you could jump, and you go like, you press the trigger, like instead of shooting, you go. That's how the game works.
But are you just stuck on the beach? Like if you plop yourself on the beach, are you just going around going like?
Jumps very, very well.
I see.
No, because you jump up and you press the attack, and on the enemies, a little X appears, and you kind of like shoot to it. So it's like you're like this big meat torpedo in the beach, eating people. I'm telling you, it is hilarious. I mean, it's fun. It's stupid fun. Like if you want to play a game where you just go like this, take your brain out for a minute and just have unadulterated fun.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of a popcorn flick.
I'm going to have to pick it up because I'm still on the fence. I'm thinking about moving my Xbox. If it's on Xbox, I'll try to pick it up. I'm trying to move my Xbox
should be on everything.
To my computer desk so Mariana can play Persona, and then she's going to play Final Fantasy when she's done with that. And I don't want to hog the PlayStation. But all week I was like, maybe I should start Fallout 3. I didn't do it yet, but maybe if I get Maneater and hook it up.
It is a budget title.
What does that mean? Is it cheap?
It didn't come out at $59. It came out at $39.
Well, that's not so bad.
No, it's not. I mean, I have a feeling this game, I'm sure if I wait a month or two, that game's gonna be $19.99. But I just, it caught my eye, and I'm like, I gotta play this.
And are you playing anything else?
Huh?
Are you playing anything else?
I actually started, and I just dipped my big toe into the pond of XCOM 2. I really like the XCOM series, but that series, like I started playing it after I beat Dragon Quest. But XCOM, it's like laser focused.
Yeah.
You cannot play that game casually. You cannot be like, oh, I'm going to play this game. What? You got to be like, all right, I'm playing this game for reals.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the XCOM series because there's a lot of story to it. The gameplay is very satisfying, but it's also very infuriating when you have a alien in your target and you're locked in your sights and it says, oh, 70% chance to hit and you miss. Like, I don't know what scale of percentages that series uses, but I feel sometimes that game just totally Fs you. Like, you down to your last guy, you have the last enemy. I'm talking about the previous game, XCOM Enemy Unknown, I believe it was called. It came out last gen.
Yeah.
And many times, you're down to your one dude, and it's one of them, and you got an 80% chance. You're like, yes, I'm going to feel the battle, and you shoot, and it's like, miss. And you're like, 80% is pretty high.
Yeah, but 20% of the time, it happens every time.
But the series is great, but I kind of took a detour to play Maneater instead. And I usually play just one game at a time.
Yeah, for some reason, I'm really bad at those tactical RPGs. I mean, like,
so like Advance Wars.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy Tactics, like what's the game that just came out on Switch? Three Houses. What's the title? Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, Fire Emblem, Three Houses. Like, I'm just not good at those games. I'm always like, yeah, I'm smart. I can figure out a tactical RPG. I cannot do them. I'm like, I'll spend an hour and I'll be like, wait a minute, I am totally screwed here. I cannot win. And then it's just like, do I spend the time letting them kill all my troops, or do I just turn the game off and go do something else? That tends to be how they turn out. I don't think I've ever gotten past the first level of any tactical RPG. So,
I mean, but like, mind you, I put XCOM on easy.
Okay.
Or rookie, whatever was difficulty. And the game, I'm only like 3 levels in, but like I already lost some characters.
Yeah.
And what I did was I created my entire family because you could customize a character. Mind you, it's not super detailed, but you could get a nice facsimile of the person you're trying to mimic. You know what I'm saying?
So who'd you lose in your family?
That's why I rage quit. I had set up my daughter. She had just graduated from rookie. And in this game, when you graduate from rookie, you get assigned a random class. There's 4 classes you could be. So she became a sniper. So I had a purse on top of the roof, and the game has you could break everything. So the alien shot at her, and it broke the roof where she was standing, and she fell down and died. And I'm like, yeah, F this. I'll come back to it. And then I started playing Maneater, and that was that.
Is there permadeath in that game?
Yes.
Wow. And that's even on rookie?
Yes.
Wow.
And there's a Iron Man mode where you cannot save once you start a battle.
Wow.
So like, you know, like you could save as many times as I want. I could just reload. You know, if I make a bad choice, I could just reload my game.
Yeah.
But like, but that Iron Man mode, you can't save a game once you play.
That's crazy. I know in Three Houses there's like a difficulty setting with permadeath, but I mean, there's also many difficulty settings without permadeath. That's crazy. I can never do that. I would lose the first level. I would just be like, well, everyone's dead. Good job. The aliens have won.
But it is pretty good though.
That's cool.
It is pretty good. The XCOM games are pretty fun.
Any final game recommendations as we tune our way out?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Any final game recommendations as we turn up the tune out music?
Well, I kind of if you want a stupid fun game to play during this quarantine, I recommend Maneater. It's just fun, stupid. You can just play and not think about it and have fun.
We'll have to pick it up.
People, barracudas,
everything.
Muskies,
battery teeth, turn into an armored shark. All right, well, check us out on social media at We Talk At You on Instagram and Twitter. We're on Discord. I think Eli will post something on Instagram with the Discord link. We have people joining and saying hi. A very nice community of 3 or 4 people, which will grow, which is cool. I stream sometimes on Discord. If I'm sitting around playing Final Fantasy, I'll turn on the stream. It's only on Discord, so you don't have to like go on Twitch or anything. It's just more like hanging out. Might as well. So until next week, Eli, I'll see you later.
Peace.